The views and opinions expressed on Live at the Barbershop are entirely those of the host, guest, and caller and do not reflect the opinions of Live at the Barbershop or its staff. Viewers' discretion is advised. The following podcast is intended for mature audiences only and contains adult contents, graphic language, strong sexual content, and a whole lot of shit talking. So in other words, get your kids out the room.
Live at the Barbershop with your hosts, Nisha J, Aaliyah, Black Republican, and those two crazy Caribbean guys from the Q&N show, Norris and Q. And now, the man of the hour, Mr. HNIC, Mr. Sleep When You're Dead, Hustle Now, the magnificent.
Yo, son. What's up with all that?
I was just trying to amp it up, you know, like...
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, all right, I'm with that.
John, live at the Barbershop podcast.
Good night. What do? What it do? Welcome back, another Friday. Oh, man. Got some alarming news just now. We're going to touch on it in the conversation tonight. I wish I had that Method Man song. Doop, doop. I came to bring the pain. You know why? Because I go for Dolo. Oh, God, coming on through. They be like, oh, my God, not you. I'm Dolo. Q's out for the night. But I got my man AP's in the building. I got another homie on the check-in, possibly from NYC. Tonight we're gonna discuss. Once again, tonight is still Mental Health Month. We're gonna keep this series going on. Tonight's discussion is trying to break down. Sorry, let me rewind a little bit. I reached out to a psychologist to try and join us, but he wasn't able to make it due to the scheduling situation. So hopefully we'll get it on for next Friday.
Yeah.
But we wanted to discuss certain things. So this will be a tidbit of what we will embark on next week. So without further ado, I'm your host for the night. My name is John. On the boards, my man Black IT.
What's going on?
Somewhere in the world, my man Black Republican, Q, Sassy, Norris, the whole squad. So, without further ado, let me bring my guest in for the night. Family, as always, my man AP is in the building. What up?
Family.
Oh, now he finds it.
Greetings.
Now he finds it. You know what I'm saying? Now he finds it. Yeah. Monumental. What the deal?
They don't know nothing about that, man.
Nothing about that.
They have no idea. They're like, why is a lawyer rapping?
Yeah, if they only knew, right?
Yeah. How y'all?
We're good, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. Recuperating, getting better, you know, living, being happy for life, happy for family, even though things may not go the way we want them to go, but we still have to be thankful that they're still going because we could be just lacking air right now.
Facts. That's facts. Shout out to my family and them up in New York. Big Pat. Pat Fuller, what up? My man on the West Coast. Dr. Johnson, what up? Khalil, what up? Bernie, what up? Manuel, what up? Tonight's discussion, as we all have seen in social media, Remy Ma's son recently arrested on a murder charge up in New York.
Yeah.
Tonight's discussion is not so much going in deep on Remy Ma's son itself, but it's to try and get a better understanding of the mental portion of things that would keep certain individuals in the streets when when we were growing up, everyone's trying to get out of the streets and get into another financial space. But it seems like now it's like some of these kids are in the financial space, but are trying to find out what the streets feel like.
Right.
So that's what the discussion is tonight, being as it's mental health month. I kind of want to just keep that going for the balance of the June month. So okay, let me break it down for all those that might not know. Okay. So Remy Ma's son, name is Jason Scott, recently arrested with another individual named Richard Sagard, 22 years old. Her son is 23. Allegedly charged with murder for a 47-year-old man. Over in a few heads probably will not know the area, but if any New Yorkers in the building, the area is over in a spot called Ravenswood. It's over in the Queensbridge area. Apparently, there seem to be some ties with the individual, Darius. Now, this is a French last name, so AP, you're gonna have to help me with this. So it's spelled Guillebeaux. So let me see if I can get it. Bullybox.
Guillebeaux.
Bullyboy. Okay. So that is the individual. Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Guillebeaux. Okay. So that individual, unfortunately, is the person that lost their life. Okay. Richard Sagard was still on Rikers Island when the charges came down for this on a prior case. Okay. So apparently this happened back in 2021. So now it's just coming to light now. They're solving certain things and getting this out. Now, social media has been going crazy on a lot of things. One particular comment that did stand out that I did not agree with was the fact that someone said Remy Ma failed as a mother. I don't think so. At the end of the day, you know, your kids, when they reach a certain age, you've done all you can do. You hope that once they walk out, they'll do the right things and not allow anyone to manipulate them or, you know, put them in the bad company or anything of that nature. But again, once they're an adult and they leave out, there's nothing you can do about that. You've done all you can do. The thing I'm trying to get a better understanding is what's the allure portion of things that will lure a lot of these people towards the street when you're coming from a pretty much good environment. Being as since Remy got out, you know, she was able to do a lot of little things here. Certain songs, the All the Way Up song hit, different things like that. Then the Love and Hip Hop thing came. So she got a chance to financially grow.
Right.
Which would take this young man out of a certain neighborhood, a certain environment. So it's mentally trying to figure out now from where we came from. And I'm speaking for myself, and I'll allow you to speak as, you know, for yourself as well. We all kind of grew up in the hood. We grew up around those shady characters. We all know what the deal is when the hustle game came around. Some of us chose to embark on that. Some of us chose to sit down on the sideline because we knew what the consequences would be. That didn't shift anything to say that we were softer than these dudes. We didn't get the same respect. Matter of fact, we would probably get more respect because we kept it 1,000 with them. They said, yo, y'all need you to hustle this, and then, nah, I'm good. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? But we still chop it up. We still here. We still family. So, AP, I'm gonna allow you to just give any thoughts you may have on this.
Um, well, looking at the time, like 21 is when this happened, right?
21, yeah.
Okay, so just think about what's happening around that time. That was the the peak time of scammers, PPP, all type of transactions. People were extremely frustrated, going through mental health situations of being locked down for the second year. You understand what I'm saying?
Forgot about that.
So a lot of things were happening during that time, right? Where mentally in our communities, it is forgotten or pushed aside for the mental health problems that we go through. There's nobody that went through a pandemic that didn't have any mental health problems. And if you're saying that, you're lying to yourself because it's unrealistic.
Right.
Having to be shifted to do something that you. The other thing also, man, is being the children of successful people. A lot of times, family members, friends, acquaintances, and stuff like that expect the family members to have just as much, if not more, than the the said artist, right? So you try to overcompensate for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
We know the music business,
Yep,
and
yep,
I can
yep.
tell you this: everybody during the pandemic, I don't care who you were, there were multi-billion-dollar companies that went belly up from the pandemic. So you can't say nothing about, some artists were good for the first 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that fourth month hit, and then it's like, okay, money dried up. We can't go out, can't do no shows. What are we doing? What can we
Mm-hmm.
do? So if you really weren't prepared for certain things, you went through a change that you could not really comprehend. I know guys that were going to Noble every day, going to the games, floor seats and stuff like that. And in 2 to 3 months, they were insolvent. They couldn't do anything financially. Some
Yeah.
people it took them 6 months, and you saw that credit was the only thing that they really had. And
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic, man, made it a level playing field, right? I started like with my family members. We'd go out when there were food drives. Everybody was going to food drive when you couldn't really go to the supermarket or anything. And I
Yep.
saw every car type except
Yep.
for a, I think it was a Ghost.
Okay. Yeah, I
That was the
saw
only
that.
one. But I saw another. I saw Rolls. So is it Rolls Ghost? The
Yeah,
Rolls is the
yeah, they got
Ghost,
a roof. Yeah,
right?
they got a ghost
Okay,
here.
so I didn't see the Bentley
Right.
truck,
Mm-hmm.
for example, in the line, but I saw the little bubble Bentley. So it goes to show you that a
Yeah,
lot of
everyone was
people were
struggling
hurting.
then.
And if
Right.
you right, so if you weren't flipping and getting the PVP loans illegally, um, you were just
That's
catching
another
that
one.
$1,200 a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just imagine that. Imagine in a society that we have that $1,200 given to individuals can pay their commitment, right?
Yeah.
Like $1,200. Imagine $1,200, man. So I give you $1,200, and supposedly you faithful for life. Like you got like it's crazy. That plays into it
That's
too,
how it
man. So
was.
for yeah, man, and so just think about him, his age, all the notoriety. Your mom was on shows, this and that, and boom, 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 and you gotta represent in his mind
Mhm.
or whatever it may be. But I'm sure to tell you that it had to do something with one of those things, right? Scammers, flippers, one of them things that they were getting into because it wasn't music.
Right.
It wasn't music,
I
right?
I'm so hoping that I can get the psychologist to break down the mental portion of it in the different section of our brains um that control the dopamine portion of things is has its own reactors that control certain things. Even now, and part of this whole thing also that we were discussing also was the food that we eat. A lot of people may not
Yeah, man.
focus on the fact that you got multiple things going on with a lot of these younger generations now. They're smoking things that are like manufactured as a test lab situation with a lot of the weed and the
Delta
different things that's
88.
going on. You know, that so many different things that is altering portions of their brain in a different way than we've seen in a long time. Listen, the odd thing about it, even if you go and look at the mugshot, right? The two individuals, I actually thought was one person that they put up a photo twice. If you look at most of these kids nowadays, they all kind of have that little sleepy eye look, that little half dead eyelid type of situation. It's never like a full open eye, like awareness and ready to go type of thing. It's always like slightly sleepy situation. And
Yeah.
all these things play a factor. You about to say
You want
something?
me to tell you something that is a yeah, it's a that people really even understand, right? There's
Mhm.
just one ingredient called aspartame. Aspartame,
Yeah.
right? Anywhere you see anything that says low sugar, low calories, all the new candy have it in, majority of certain candies. Like if your candies come from Europe, there's no
Mhm.
aspartame in it. So, for example, those gummy bears, Hair, Haribo gummy bears, they don't have any
Mhm.
aspartame. But you remember the sugar, the Wrigley's gum,
Yeah.
the green pack, the yellow pack, the white pack, the red pack,
Mhm.
all those have aspartame in them. Tic Tac, everything. Now, aspartame does something to the brain, the nervous system, and affects the lungs as well.
Mhm.
So it acts like a speed agent in the system.
Mhm.
So with me, for MS, for example, if I take something that has aspartame, I feel like I'm uh, having palpitations, my heart starts beating, and depending on how I am with immune system, I may have to go into the hospital for that.
Okay.
Now, how it works with other people and kids is somewhat like Ritalin in
Okay.
the system, right? Now, for some people, aspartame may make them overactive, and you get jittery, don't know why you're doing it, and you're and you have no idea, but it's the aspartame, right? It's a preservative, but it's also a taste agent. So Splenda,
Yeah.
any fake sugar, all the fake sugar, anything that says diet, anything that
Yeah.
says low sugar,
Yeah.
anything that says low calories, all of it, and that right there affects a lot of kids because when you mix that with fructose
Uh-huh.
and lactose and lactose and all the other toast together. Um, it's kind of like frying the mind, but not to
Mhm.
the point of frying it all the way. Yeah.
You know what I have to do one of these days? I really gotta do something when I go to these different cities and stuff like that. I'm gonna actually look at everything that we have in the black neighborhoods, right? It's on the shelf because
Uh-huh.
I don't even know. I don't even know if I could find a convenience store in a white neighborhood like that. It's probably gonna be just like a supermarket or something like
Yeah.
that. Come to think of it, but I'm going to
A
try my
7-Eleven.
best, or
Don't find a
7-Eleven or
7-Eleven.
something like that. But I really want to see everything that's on the shelf in the black and brown community, then drive far out to the burbs somewhere and go through their thing. Of course, the average things is the Coke, the
You're gonna
beer,
see the Coke.
different things like that. But I just want to find out now, health wise, certain
Listen,
things
man.
that are on the shelf, different. Of course, we know that alcohol in our neighborhood has always been
Right.
a factor of just what they call a appetite for destruction, basically. And I just want to see if the same games are being played or if it's playing out the same way in each and every neighborhood. Because again, you're trying to figure out something that if they know what these things are doing to people and your family have to eat it, or is it already master planned out that these things will be in the masses, but not amongst the elites? The aspartame,
That's right. You
the
need it to be
extra
among.
sugar.
You need it
You
to be
know,
among. Right. You need those things to be among the average because there's more average people than there are superior,
right.
quote unquote. I know superior is not the word, but
Mhm.
um, there's more average. So the more average people that are stuck in a rut with something, that means that they'll be purchasing it. It's like you see, like MSG is addictive for foods.
Right.
Aspartame is addictive for sweets, candies, certain foods, and stuff like that, right? But man, just think about it. You walk into any convenience store in any minority neighborhood, the convenience store automatically has pickled eggs, pig feet, pickle,
Yeah.
um, some other knuckle, something, a
Yeah.
sausage, a red sausage, right? And right under that, like, under, think about it. Quarter water in our
I,
time, right?
I was just
Quarter
about
water,
to say that.
right? They were making a profit off of quarter water. Imagine that. So
Yeah.
that probably means that it cost them a couple of cents, not even 5 cents to make, not even
Yeah.
that to make, right? And they were the chips that we were paying 25 cents for, they're paying
Hmm.
50 cents.
Yeah.
It's the
Same
same
thing.
bag, less chips, right? And bigger GMO part. All you got to do is look at the back of any of these things now, and you're gonna see this new thing that they have. It'll say chemically engineered food. It says chemically engineered food, and just as long as they have it on the box, doesn't matter how big or small. Usually the smallest
Yeah. Fine print.
thing, and it's separated.
Hmm.
They stop putting GMO because people are hip to seeing GMO,
Right.
but so a lot of that. So just think about the average stuff in the convenience store of minorities. The meat in the deli area is not the freshest that it needs to be.
Right.
The
Right.
cheese is not the freshest that it needs to be. Um, you've got more alcohol and malt liquor on ice than anything. Go to Lauderdale, anywhere in freaking
Yeah.
Lauderdale, bruh. Like right now is the peak time.
Yeah.
The,
Summertime and
the,
everything.
the, the peak time they get in the malt liquor or the whatever it is. So now they got the new thing that it's not like the Cisco and stuff like in our day. It's truly
Right.
Celsius.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, now,
yeah.
did you see that? What you call it? This week came out with adult beverage. Welch's Grape now
Oh,
has,
word.
yes, an alcoholic version of Welch's Grape and Cherry.
Hmm.
Right. So
Sure do.
you got Mike's. What is that? Is it
Hard lemonade. Yeah.
no? Not the hard lemonade. You
Which
know that
one?
Simply.
Simple.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yo, Simply got alcohol versions now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
So
they know the market.
they know the market.
They
So
know the
now
market.
it's getting the kids young when they're on the regular version, so that when they get older, they get onto that version, right? All the while, all you're doing is just keeping people addicted to a certain thing, so they graduate with the next step. So instead of you going to a bar or something, now it's going to be, oh, I don't need to do that. I just go to my supermarket and just get this, boom, boom. But
You
all
know,
the while, yeah,
I was listening to a psychologist, but over and she was over in Europe. It was a conference basically of white psychologists and scientists and different things. They were speaking about that over in Europe, their food regulations are way stricter than it is in the US, right? And the
yeah,
fact that they do know that the food does affect people's mentals in different way. Now, one gentleman was talking about, so now I know for sure that a lot of people, I remember when Andre 3000 dropped dopamine, and it's like a lot of people woke up like, what's that? When I looked it up, it was like, oh snap. You see what I'm saying? The problem with it is that a lot of us
mhm,
don't educate. You see, like those rappers back in the days, we looked up a lot of stuff in the dictionary. We found out the meaning for a lot of things. But moving forward now, all that stuff is just waiting on somebody to either tell you or if you Google it or something like that. You're not really going hunting for it. So what they spoke about was the fact that at a young age, the minute your mother or father or whoever put certain things in that child's mouth, it shoots to that portion of the brain where the dopamine portion of it is saying, yo, what was that? I like that. You know what I'm saying? That's where the craving
yep,
for the sugar, even though you're not
yep,
understanding that the starch portion of things in different things, rice, like you said, they drop it in damn near everything, whatever they can get it in. And it's no different than the drug game because it's like remember when Coca-Cola had the cocaine in it. You understand? It's like, and
yep,
you're now trying to come back to get your fix to get, oh, let me get another one of those because it's shooting.
bruh.
All these things are shooting in your head and saying, yo, I like that.
Listen to me. Like I just had surgery, right? So
Right,
there's certain things I shouldn't and shouldn't be eating, right?
right.
As I'm speaking to you right now, half laid up, right? What do you think I
Mm.
have in my pocket right now? I
Snickers.
got a Reese's
That's
cup,
something
a
with
Reese's
chocolate.
cup
I
in
knew
my
it.
pocket, bruh. A Reese's cup, and then I got like the now and later, a half the small now and
Oh,
later type stick in my pocket, bruh.
uh,
You hear me? Like I haven't eaten sweets in a minute. My sister been by. I found a bag. I know while I was opening up the bag, I'm I'm an adult, right? And
uh,
I'm still opening up the bag like so nobody
hear
like
it.
and I yeah, man. Let me
Uh,
tell you, when I tell you sweets, the most the most out of anything in the world right now still today, addictive thing in the world is sugar. It's sugar.
AP,
That would tell you, like, for example, yeah,
look but don't touch. No Diddy.
hey man. I feel you. It's still in my pocket. I haven't even opened it up. I'm probably gonna take it out and go put it in the refrigerator or something. But it's an addiction, bro.
It is.
And
It is. At the
and
end of
if
the
you
day,
get that's it, and it gives you that dopamine feel.
yeah.
That exactly that dopamine feel. So aspartame acts like a delayed response of those things, right? As well, and it slows down the blood flow. And when it slows
Mm,
down the blood flow, that's less oxygen in your blood. Less oxygen in your blood is problematic,
right.
right? It's just like our eating habits are so crazy. Imagine going and getting a hot. Uh, Remember how many times we used to be on South Beach after working
After
or
something,
promoting
yeah.
something, and we'd go to Poochie's right next to Cameo,
Yeah.
and they had their special for the
Yeah.
pizza and the
Or the
cold,
pizza
cold,
spot, yeah.
cold Coke, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So imagine taking a hot ball of after you eat it, it becomes a hot ball of cheese and dough in your
Cheese.
stomach,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Right, and that's what goes down. And then to wash that down, as we call it, we put the cold
Yeah.
thing right on top of that. So the cold
Solid mass in
meets
your
up with the
stomach.
there you go. It's a solid mass.
Yeah.
So that solid mass then has to be cut down, distributed to go to certain places to do its work. But
Right.
then a lot of it gets stuck in your colon, intestines, and something like that. And it's all crazy, man.
Because
It's all
here
crazy.
comes the marketing portion of things. That was another discussion that they had over in Europe is the marketing aspect
Yep.
also plays into the mental portion of things because they're saying now if Americans because this actually was England, Australia was at the forefront of it because they're trying to figure out the Aborigines their diet, which mainly it's gonna sound a little yeah was kangaroo, right? And it's a
Yeah.
lean situation, I guess similar to iguana, I would assume. And because of that now, because of their diet, they reduce the risk of all these other ailments, the diabetes, the overweight, high blood pressure, on and on and on. These people live a longer lifespan. So they were trying to go back and study that portion of it to figure out now that also, and they were focused people as far as because of the lean diet and different things that they ate, things from the actual earth, their mental state was totally different. And that's how they were breaking down the different portions of your brain. There was a particular section, and I don't want to mess up the name of it. So I think it's the next show that we do, I'll bring the name. But I do remember it had. Oh man, I can't remember it fully right now. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but how she explained it is that that frontal portion of your brain is like so vital to a
The
lot
frontal
of.
lobe.
It's not the frontal lobe. It was a different. She something like you would say homo something, and and
Sapien.
it kind of say again.
I said Homo
I
sapien.
no no no, but because of that now I'm trying to get a better understanding. Howie G, what up? Oh, so chill, what up? I'm trying to get an understanding now of saying the marketing aspect of the billboards, billboards for our days, social media for the new jacks. We knew how it was because for us, and even in the music, the promotions, when you snipe, you gunning, so you sniping to make sure Like, yo, everyone see that artist, they know that artist, so you know the psychological portion. If you snipe right now, you just hit one light pole, then yo, you not even close to doing nothing. You
Yeah.
snipe and you got buildings and bridges and you the man out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like war. So we understand that psychological portion of it by feeding it, feeding it, feeding it, feeding it. The one thing I would like to get a professional in the food industry also to answer the question is, it's like surrounding yourself, putting down little, what do you call those? No, not traps. You know, in the jungles when they used to have the landmines, you're planting little mines all around. And you're not realizing that
Sound like a trap to me.
you're in the middle. You're in the middle. You just keep putting it around you to try and keep all these other people out. And then now you turn around and realize, oh, damn, I can't get out either. They can't get in, I can't get out. Because putting all these different things in the food, somewhere or another, somebody you love, even if you are not eating it on a daily, somebody you love, someone in your family has to consume it sometime or another.
You know what's really crazy, man? You know, when you go back to Jamaica, right, to visit and everything, right? So when you're eating the ackee and saltfish, or if you may eat some eggs, eggs,
Oh, you gotta say that over your mic was going out.
omelet, stuff like that.
Somebody didn't want to hit our
They
kids off.
messed the shit up.
That whole menu got wiped out.
Look at the color of the.
Go again. Your mic was going in and out, but go again. Go again. Ackee and saltfish was all we heard.
So when you go to Jamaica, and you eating the food and you see the food, whether it's ackee and saltfish, whether it's you know, boiled banana and some yam and some eggs, scrambled eggs, or whatever it is. The egg looks orange.
Right.
The egg tastes different.
Yes.
The fruit, you smell the fruit when you cut the fruit.
Yes.
You smell the fruit, not taste it. You smell the cucumbers. They cut the cucumbers and salad up. You smell it and you're like, yo, I never smell my vegetables like that. Like, there's a reason that's it's in its natural form. It's in its natural state. I saw another thing this week with the orange soda, the Fanta.
Right.
The Fanta in America versus the Fanta in Europe, Asia, Caribbean.
Anywhere, right.
Right. I know the Fanta, what it looked like. Like, come on, it one has a tint and 16 different color combinations, right? But once you see things like red dye 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, man, come on. And then you got so many things that are packed in. But then once again, there are certain things that we were leaders of America, and now everybody's sitting back laughing. They'll ingest certain things, they'll ingest music and stuff like that. But it's crazy to see that they won't even eat our foods until, like, somebody says, yes, when I go on vacation, I go and I eat junk food. And they're talking about all the food that's here, not just one food, but just the food in general. And once again, healing comes from 2 different sources. Stuff you put in your mouth, eyes, you know, or whatever may be put in medically. But everything that heals the body is in the food.
Here's the crazy thing. So the other day, I forgot the actress name, but she teamed up with Bill Gates. She and her boyfriend bought
Katy Perry.
No, it wasn't Katy Perry. It was another chick. They bought the mother's the apple cider.
Katy Perry.
It's Katy Perry. Okay. My bad. saying Katy Perry, but I don't know why I vision the pale
Perry?
singer. No, not Tyler Perry. The pale singer that everybody going crazy for with the football player boyfriend. What's her name?
Taylor.
Taylor Swift. I saw her face when you said
Taylor.
Katy Perry. So, but yeah, they bought it, but apparently they're using these modified apples, not naturals farming apples. It's these apples that Bill Gates.
It's not an actual apple.
Right.
It's some kind of chemical thing that's called apple.
Yo, this
No,
is crazy.
It's
So now
it
your
is,
last resort when you can get an all natural thing. Go ahead.
it's a GMO, man. Genetically modified
Yeah.
organism.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So
You
now
know?
it's like this is crazy because people need to understand. Like Bill Gates is buying land in mass amounts. Okay, mass amounts. That's not for no just to say you just want land. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a Ted Turner situation, and we don't even know what Ted Turner's situation was, but we knew that he acquired hundreds, if not thousands, of acres. I know definitely in Arizona, he owned probably half of Arizona for all we know. You know, but again, these people are doing these things, and keep in mind now, the Nation of Islam is doing the same thing. Somebody knows something that we are not privy to right now. We're gonna find out later on when there's a food shortage or when stuff starts shifting.
Or the shortage.
All that. Because someone right now has the green light to get things moving before it gets to that point.
Hey man, just look at it's like everybody got amnesia once the pandemic reversed and things opened up. Everybody forgot what they went through. Everybody forgot about the essential people. Like everybody forgot, and everybody's trying to go back to what it was. And there's no going back to what it was
There's
at
no
all.
going back.
Right?
No.
So the thought process of hey, wanting everybody to go back to where it was is another trick bag for a certain group of people. Because you still have certain group of people that are like, yeah, we can still make it, and you have the crazier people of make it great again. Like, come on, like really,
Let
make
me
it great
put
again.
something up.
Like, come on.
Let me put something on my man Howie G said right here. He was saying they lived longer because there was no internet and everyone was more active. Facts, Howie. Facts. That's another mental
Facts.
portion of things also.
100%.
It's another mental portion of things also. I remember my father used to always, he old school, so everything he got foolishness that, so it's like, no matter what it was, everything is foolishness. Everything is, so that new car came out, it's foolishness. so, you're like, yo, you get a car a chance.
Technology.
But I will say one thing. He was correct with the fact that, and all right, it's a give and take. It's important how everything in moderation, even when it comes to the internet, social media, getting out and about. Certain things, yes. For instance, now, people who can't get out. Let's say I have a friend of mine, she's a double amputee. It is difficult for her to move around. Shout out to Arlene. That's my golden, my A1 Buku. So for her to make that phone call to get some grocery or something like that, that's helpful. For another individual where the grocery store is literally like 2 blocks, you're lazy at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, get up, go out, get some fresh air, get that vitamin D from the sunlight, get interaction with people, and then go back in your house.
And the kids don't even want.
There's even people that the other day I was over with my brother, seen a female come out of one of these houses. I'm like, yo, who's that? Like, oh yeah, she lived it. Since when? I have never seen nobody come out of that house for like 10 years. Oh yeah, she just goes from house to car, car to house. It was like, damn. You don't even come out and say what's up to your neighbors. You don't say hello, good morning. We don't get none of that anymore. And those are also part of the mental aspect of things where the disconnect. When we grew up, neighbors got up, came out, good morning, such and such, good morning. These kids is ready to move off and go to school, or if it's the weekends, such and such came over to borrow some sugar. That one came over to borrow some flour. Can I borrow this tool? Can I do that? Can you help me with this? Nowadays, you say good morning, it's almost like you cussing at somebody. They look at you funky,
Yep.
It's too
Like,
early in the morning.
and
something wrong with
they
you?
don't want to.
Something's
Yeah,
wrong with
they're
you?
like, yo, what's wrong with this dude? Like, seriously, and that is another mental portion of it where society is breaking down at a rapid rate to the point now it's going to get to the point where people are not even going to come out. People are not, yo, look, we laugh at these movies, but these movies is a window to the future. When you see a guy that's interacting with his iPhone, okay, I don't even remember the name of the movie, but I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was like, yo, this is whacked out. But moving forward, they might be on to something. They might be telling us something because right now they are definitely separating the genders. Okay, male and females right now don't want to deal with each other. You understand? So at the end of the day, it may come to the point where I'd much rather have a conversation with my iPhone. You know, if I say whatever it is at that point, if it's Siri, what up? Siri say, hey, what's good? Yeah. Rather than go talk to, Renee or whoever, and she's nagging me constantly, that oh, you didn't bring home the groceries like I asked, all this extra stuff. You're like, damn, I went, at least give me a thing for that. But the mental portion of all these different things, and then you have the neighborhoods, you have all the environments. Growing up in these neighborhoods, that's why I was saying last week, I really, really want to sit down with the psychologist and ask now, with the generational gap in between, did we suppress our mental breakdowns and we sold it to the world that we was just hard and we was tough and we was men and we was macho and we was this and that? Because when certain individuals unleashed it back into the world, that's where we get a lot of these news reports. On the flip side now, with these newer kids now, it don't take nothing to flip them off. You could say, yo, my man, you got the top. Oh,
nope.
Oh, you want smoke?
You want smoke? You gonna talk to me like that? Who? What?
You sitting here like what? At least back in our days, it really had to get to a point. You know what I mean? It really had. No one really was just popping unless it was a direct situation between crews or individuals that had turf wars, drug wars, little things of that nature. The regular heads around the way.
There had to be a reason, man.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But now, it ain't even got to be no. These dudes, listen. Had a family member that lost a family member because of a gang initiating situation out in Long Island. You heard what I said?
Yeah.
A person lost their life on an initiation process, which is crazy. You don't even know what's coming. They was knocking out, I remember in Brooklyn, they was knocking out old people as initiations. So like when we had rules and regulations. The OGs had rules and regulations. Yo, dog, no, that's off limits. But nowadays, again, the mental breakdown from everything that we have coming in, from the music coming in hard, the messages that are being sent out, and the thing that I would love to tell these younger individuals is, I remember when I was on the set and Lil Wayne was out there, and there was a bunch of we was in Overtown, and it's me and Larry Dog out there. Shout out Larry Dog, and
I can't see who's out there too.
he was out there, yeah. Shout out to Shimi too. Shimi was out there. Shimi L Baby was out there. Black IT was out there too. So we was out there, and there's a bunch of kids gathered around Wayne's trailer, and they was yelling for him, "Yo, Wayne, Weezy, blah blah blah."
He ain't even show up yet.
No, he was in the trailer. He was in the trailer.
Remember they was around there, but he didn't show up yet.
No,
that's when they showed up in the Mercedes wagon or whatever you want to call that back then.
Well, that was probably a different day. The day that me and Larry Dog was there, he was in that trailer. He was in the trailer, and kids kept asking. I remember I pulled the kids aside. I said, "Listen, first of all, you don't need no rapper to be your role model, your idol, none of these things. You got your father, your mother, your uncle, your pastor, even the local bodega. That's a businessman. Like these, you got multiple people, multiple. Because at the end of the day, like I said, unfortunately, all these things, it's a big domino effect. People are coming in the hood to shoot videos in the hood to regurgitate the same situation that we're trying to get away from. So the mental portion of things is really never gonna really just resolve itself, because every time you feel like you put a band-aid on that one thing and you figured it out, someone else is coming from another angle. So now you got a drill music situation going on. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, they look up.
So at one point now in Brooklyn, me and my man, shout out to Uncle Pat, we were all trying to put our heads together on figuring out something for Brooklyn, having a big powwow with a lot of heads in the neighborhoods, the OGs and different people from different sections, to see if we could sit down and try to figure out something and put together a game plan on something. But even when it came to that, the OGs at one point was like, they threw their hands up too. They was like, yo, ain't nothing you can do about it with these dudes. You understand? Ain't nothing you can do about it. But I'm still saying, it's still something, because we need to have discussions with them to figure out. That's the problem, the disconnect between the age gap. The age gap situation is another problem. And
the age gap is a situation, and the whole internet famous whole thing, you know, that there's a narrative being taught to our kids now, man. Like, don't stress yourself with school. Just go out in 2021 to 2022, 2023. That was a really bigger push of any of that stuff, right? At the same time, they were dismantling the DEI in every state, diversity, equity, inclusion in every state, which pretty much was followed after they did what they did with affirmative action. So that means that now nobody has to do what's right to hire the right people. Now you can just hire the white people and no problem at all. Right? And at the same time that they're doing that, all they're and getting that in something because they know down the line, you know, what it is. I remember my dad always telling me when I was in college, right, that whatever you do after your bachelor's, just you got to keep going, because, you know, as time goes on, your bachelor's is just going to be like your high school diploma. Your diploma for high school is going to be pretty much setting you at a certain level. And you know what I'm saying? So now your master's is like having your bachelor's, right? Unless you get a more advanced degree, and unless you have a trade or a skill which 70% of those things are cut out of the schools in our neighborhoods. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They have to end up being the straight worker force for the labor force. So all those things play a part. Like we spoke last week, everything went up except for the wages. So if that happens, that only means one thing: each individual person has to work more than they were working before at the low
Yeah.
wages for things
Yeah.
to continue going on. It's like all back during the pandemic, they made money and everything. They still brought up the prices and everything. That's just to meet the quota for the people on their boards and the shareholders, meaning that they're at a profit. They're at a profit. So if there's no profit, the companies act like there's none. I was watching Boeing, the Boeing CEO of Boeing today, man.
Uh,
They cut him up. They're like, so do you see anything wrong with your, I think it's $48 million salary this year, with all the craziness going on and all the failings of everything? He's like, I'm the proudest I've ever been for my company. I stand behind my company 1%, and I don't feel that me getting paid 48. And they said, but none of the other individuals in your company got a raise for more than 10 years.
uh-huh. See, here's the thing now. I think a lot of people are not looking at it. If we thought that there was a mental situation, November gonna have y'all in a serious mental state, straight up.
Yes, sir.
And I'm bringing this up at the last portion as we're
Yeah, you smart. You smart.
getting
You
ready to
smart,
sign off.
boy.
Nah, I don't. Yo, Hobie, let me tell you something. If we thought that, like for instance, you gave me a bit of information today that I did not know about, which was another mass shooting situation that went on, and
Right.
that's just a constant reminder of the things that are going on in society now. It's not to say that this has never happened centuries ago, things of that nature, but as we're moving on, the numbers are getting larger and larger and larger. And these domino effects are coming from the powers that be. There's so many things that we don't really fully have an understanding on because the information is lacking to a certain degree. Yes, now you have Google, you have different things, but try and remember something. I mean, it's no different than a book. I'll be honest with you at the end of the day. Even though they tell you if you want to hide it from blacks, put it in the book, we get all that. But at the end of the day, man writes books. You understand what I'm saying? Man writes
That's right.
books.
And if you're in Florida, you're getting a different type of book now, right?
so
Because
so at
they
the end
caught
of the
on
day,
to what you just
go ahead.
said. Awesome, if you put it in a book.
Mm,
During the pandemic, people were reading so much books that you had white guilt that wasn't forced by black people.
right.
Understand that. White guilt that wasn't forced by black people. This week, also on Monday, did you see the picture of the gentleman that was in the restaurant that was pretty much assassinated by that police officer?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay, you saw that, right? Now
Right.
ask yourself why that didn't get on the news like George Floyd did.
Mhm.
Somebody's controlling the narrative, because to have that happen right now, it would be another big problem while all the stuff that's going on, right? But for some reason, we I saw the video, a dude that didn't have no gun, nothing in his hand at all. He just moving away, and then you unloaded in a public restaurant. where
So
any of those
okay,
bullets could have
so
ricocheted, like, and let
apparently
me
there
stop.
is a full length situation, and they said that he did have something. So I would have to see the whole thing because other people were making comments throughout
A butter
the
knife?
situation. No, they said he had a gun. He let off one on the security guard that held him at first. So that could be something that we didn't see in
Oh, I
that
didn't know that.
particular clip. Yeah, so that's it came out later on
We didn't see
that
or we didn't hear.
we didn't see that right. So
W-
again, they're painting the narrative how
Man,
even if it all right. So even if it is true that the individual had something on him and he let off one on the security guard and everything, whoever's doing the editing is still playing with the narrative of the full story itself. If
yeah,
so, play it in its entirety or put it in these two different perspectives where you can see something where that happened and then certain other things happen and then you can put the storyline together and say, okay, I understand why this went to that and everything else. But
but
again,
John, that's not reality, man. That's not
that's the
reality right
problem.
now. You got people saying, making fun of President Biden, right? Acting like
Mm,
he was looking out into yonder to no place when he was talking to paratroopers that had just landed on the floor to take that picture, right? But every news station went with one narrative because that's what the news does, right? Right? To paint a
because
picture. Now, ask yourself, why would all the media want to take that picture frame to act like the man is senile when they had the whole frame there that finally comes out showing that he was talking to somebody, right? But
because
the
once
problem
again,
is
yeah,
they find out they're exonerated. The press never goes back to say, "Hey, we were wrong about that." It's the same way with these Trumpers, right? Or the far
mm,
leftists, right? But mainly the Trumpers, right? They know the truth with a lot of stuff, right? But there's no way that you're going to admit it now because admission of that means that you first were gullible to believe in a big, big, big lie, so much so that you foresaw looking past everything else but this golden God. So now we're going to blame Dr. Fauci for every single thing that happened during the pandemic, right? And forget about the person that was on the news every single day talking about
Black Republican.
Hey, Black Republican got to him.
AP, you still there?
Uh-oh.
Oh, AP,
Well, this
AP,
concludes.
AP.
Well, this concludes the night of
I think
live at
Black
the barbershop.
Republican stuck in there. All right, so here's the thing that had me while we're getting ready to close out now. I do remember hearing for myself when he made a statement, and I think the state was Wyoming when he said it's a horrible place, right? The other day he made a statement that he never said it. Mind you, there's audio, but that's how the narcissist thinks. He thinks everyone is stupid because at the end of the day, that's how he looks at the masses right now. That damn, they are really this dumb that I say anything I want, do anything I want, get anything I want, and it's we could just whatever. If we really think that it is going to get better, and listen, you're fooling yourself at the end of the day.
Gotta do their research.
And for those Democrats out there, you're a dumb as well because you just don't have the balls to play in this arena anymore. So you might as well just check out also. And that's the problem with it. We don't have any real leaders at this point. So now you're just stuck on stupid all day. That's the unfortunate part of it. AP, if you could chime back in before I bounce out, I got like 2 seconds. I'll let you finish up, but if not, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. So chill, yo. As always, man, some great comments. My man Howie G, same thing. To the West Coast heads, what's up? My family and them out in Chicago. What up, Mikey and the rest of them? My heads over in St. Louis. Corey, James, and the rest of them out there. What up? Big Gene Dale out in St. Louis. What up? What up? Yo, we got a long road ahead of us, man. And
Very long road.
and if we really can't pull ourselves together to really AP saying your phone. All right, it's all good, dog. It's all good, though. I appreciate it, though. Love is love, family. AP had phone died on him. But
Did it really?
Black Republicans.
Black
Gotcha. But man, listen, man, we gotta really do better. Tupac said it, and a lot of things. That's another thing where people gotta really pay attention to that brother Pac, because then that was probably just a different spiritual source that God sent down, because man already spoke about it. Say, yo, we gotta make changes. We gotta eat better. We gotta do better. All those stuff. Way before all these things are coming around now. We really do have to start paying attention to a lot of things in our neighborhood and start doing a lot better in I see that. A lot better in making the changes for ourselves first. Pray up for our people during these dark days and times. That's facts. So chill, facts.
Big fact.
Because again, man, listen, we have to go back to the way how it used to be. Start harvesting and growing certain things. If you think it's a reason why now they want to cut it out where you can't grow certain things, can't do certain things, they want to regulate certain things. I remember in the state of Florida at one point they had this thing where it was a cankerous, orange cankerous and grapefruit cankerous and all this stuff, and they cut down trees. Listen, the mere fact that they know that, look, if you got a tree in your backyard, you really don't need me. I don't need Minute Maid. I don't need Tropicana. I don't need this. I go squeeze my own things fresh every single day, do my own thing. I don't need you. Someone had to sit there and say the orange industry is going to struggle. If every one of these individuals got an orange tree, a grapefruit tree, cherry tree, whatever it is in their backyard, let's figure out something and say, yo, there's a unknown pathogen that, you know, going through the state of Florida and messing things up, and we need to tear this. Listen, if that's the case, how come a lot of these growers' trees didn't get caught up in that? It's just everybody that got a backyard, they got a tree in their backyard. Think about that, food for thought. Move forward and do a lot better, man. Live at the Barbershop every Friday, 9 p.m. Food for thought. These are the platforms y'all need to really start focusing on. All that ratchet stuff ain't getting you nowhere, man. But again, these platforms are like books. And it's not until it's way out of hand when you're trying to pick it up. And by then, it's too late. Like my man said, today is to tomorrow you should have feared yesterday. Today is the tomorrow you should have feared yesterday. Lord Finesse. Love that. Yo, live at the Barbershop. Check us out on all the platforms. I'm hoping to get the psychiatrist in here next week, man. All right, so once I confirm, we'll post it and get the flyers going in the whole 9 yards, and we'll make it happen from there. So once again, check us out on all the platforms. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Please go out in the world and be somebody. Live at the Barbershop. You heard? I like
Go
that.
out in the world and be somebody.